Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on this video, we're going to talk about 3 things that you need to have in your boat, especially if you're a tournament angler. These are 3 things that I've seen very few guys carry with them, but let me tell you, when money's on the line, these can be a really big deal. You know, one of the things that drives me nuts, it's a big pet peeve of mine, and I'll give it to you. I'm very fortunate to have the experience that I have, especially working up in Alaska at the Burghoff Wilderness Lodge. Up there, you learn how to be resourceful, make sure that you have a lot of spare parts, and know how to fix things, because out there in the wilderness, you're the only one that really can work on stuff in most cases. So I've got a little bit of a different background story that makes me kind of uniquely aware of a lot of things that can go wrong, and then that allows me to prepare for those things. But in tournament fishing, especially when you're talking about fishing the Opens, a Toyota Series, or any tour level events, if you don't have the basic stuff to be able to fix some real rudimentary things on your boat out on the water, I don't know what you're doing. And if you're really taking your job seriously and taking the sport seriously, you really should be thinking about a lot of the different angles. And fish care is one of the biggest ones. So 2 of the things that I'm going to show you really have to do with fish care, because I really hate it when I hear somebody talk about how, hey, I would have won this tournament had it not been for, the live well going out. Because, man, there's a lot of things that you can do as backups to be able to make it through a tournament day even without your live wells working. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, at least for 2 of the things. And the other one is also another thing that is easily broken or malfunctions a lot out there, and can really affect the amount of time that you have on the water in a tournament day. So anyways, guys, I just think that these are 3 really important things. Before we get into these things, I'm now going through all of my tournament gear and getting ready to, in the next couple weeks, start filling the new boat with all my tournament stuff. But quite honestly, some of the things that I'm going to show you are not in good shape. I'm going to have to replace them and things like that, but I'm going to show them to you exactly how I found them. I mean, I haven't been tournament fishing all in 2024, so I think I get a pass this year as far as the condition of this stuff. But let's start off with one this is a product that I discovered that really was a great solution to an issue that at some point in time you're going to have, okay? And that is if your aerator goes out in your live well. Now, aerators and the recirculation, both of those are extremely important. If they go out, you're really going to struggle to keep those fish as healthy as they would if the live wells were operating normal. But I always want something as a backup just in case. And just so I can, keep those fish as healthy as possible. And this product right here really solved a lot of issues. This right here is the Rapola battery-powered aerator. So essentially, this thing, takes some batteries, and you just throw it in your live well, and as soon as it touches the water, it turns on and will start aerating, okay? So it just kind of floats around in your live well. And to me, something like this is what every single tournament angler should have in their boat, and have spare batteries in a waterproof location where they can, swap them out. Because a product like this, and it works very, very well, it's not, again, it's not the ultimate solution. The ultimate solution is your live wells working, right? But when they don't work, this is a great way to make sure that you're at least getting some aeration in your live wells. You could carry 2 of these to cover both sides of the live well. I just have the one, but this is a very, very important product. And in fact, for all the things that I'm talking about today, or at least for most of them, I'm going to put links in the description below for these products in case you want to go ahead and buy them. This one will be at Tackle Warehouse, so I'm going to put the Tackle Warehouse affiliate link. And if you buy any of the products, it also helps support this channel by using those links. So this one is a big one. I discovered it, I think 2 years ago. Maybe it was 2023. But I've actually used it a couple times just to test it, but I haven't had to use it in a tournament day. But just seeing it in action, I know that it is better than not having it at all, for sure. So this is one you definitely should check out if you're a tournament angler. The next thing, and when I was saying that some of these things weren't in the best of shape, this is definitely the one I had in mind. And one I don't even have, so I'm going to put up a picture of it. But the next thing that you have to be prepared for is, a bilge pump going out, and also your recirc going out in your live well. Again, this has to do with the live well, but also having an option to be able to pump out water if maybe, your bilge pumps are broken. Now, most of the boats nowadays, you've got, kind of redundancy when it comes to your bilge pumps. You have one that's on a float switch, you've got a manual one. So odds are you're probably good as far as bilge pump. But a lot of guys that fish the Great Lakes on a regular basis, what they'll do is they'll wire up a bilge pump and put it at their feet at the helm for when they take greenies over the bow, because a lot of times the water that's in the bottom here, where your feet are, where you're sitting, that can really weight things down. And so a lot of guys will have a high capacity water pump pumping that water out. All right. I haven't had to do that because Phoenix actually has a really good drain system that just flushes everything out really quick. It goes right through that net holder. So I really haven't had to have that done. But I do carry a spare bilge pump with me. Again, this one's probably going to have to be replaced, or at least, cleaned up a bit. I know that this end is going to have to be replaced because that is a horror show. But essentially what I've done here is I've jerry-rigged a bilge pump, okay, that has a little AC plug or a DC plug here. And then I've got another plug. This one's going to have to be replaced, that has, clips that clip directly onto the battery, and I can plug into there. And what I do with this is, and I haven't had to do it, but I've tested it many times, is recirculating the water is really important. You could have a great aerator in there, and that is a big part of it, but also having a pump that can kind of recirculate things, I think that's important for the fish. And also, if I'm using it in one side of the live well, and maybe I have a co-angler or something, and I need one for the co-angler side of the live well, I can use this as kind of an aerator solution. But having something like that on hand, and I was looking for it. I don't have the tubing that goes on the end here, but having that tubing is also a good idea because you can use it as a pump in. You can pump water into the live wells, okay? And that is a big deal if maybe your fuse blows or something like that, which on that note, for all of these things, make sure you carry fuses first and foremost. That can run the gamut as far as all the stuff that you have on your boat. So yeah, having a nice bilge pump that you can jerry-rig can be used in so many different situations, okay? And by bypassing all the fuses and all that stuff and going directly to the battery, man, it's a lifesaver under certain circumstances. All right, so the last thing, I have scoured everywhere to try to find it. I saw it the other day when I was taking apart the boat, but I lost it. And so we're going to have to find it for this upcoming tournament season. But it's one that I am amazed. I'm amazed that guys don't carry with them everywhere they go tournament fishing. One of the most frustrating things, I've had this happen multiple times before in my career, is launching the boat first day of the tournament and trying to turn on your lights and none of your navigation lights work. The red and green on the front don't work. The white all around light doesn't work on the back, or one or the other. Okay, that is a big issue, not only for navigation safety, but also because the tournament director isn't and shouldn't let you go out until safe light, okay, or until, you know, actual daylight. All right, so that's going to waste a lot of time. I've actually had that happen before, where I got held back and had to wait until it got brighter before I took off. And that is not something you want to do on tournament day, especially when a lot of money's on the line. So carrying and I'm just going to point up in the air somewhere, maybe over here, carrying a really good battery operated navigation light kit is really important. You can buy one at Walmart. You can buy one just about anywhere. I'm going to put a link in the description below to the one that I have somewhere in here. But essentially, these are more or less designed for like smaller boats, to clamp on a smaller boats, but with a little bit of zip ties or some duct tape. You can duct tape the white to your pole, and then, you know, find a spot where you duct tape or zip tie the red and green to the bow, and that solves that issue in the short term until you can get your wiring or fuses fixed. So that is something that you should always carry with you, in my opinion. I think it is super important, and it's going to save your butt more often than you would think. So anyways, guys, these are just some things I think are really super important for tournament anglers, but also for anybody that is looking to maybe use their live wells or needs some some backup systems for like bilge pumps and stuff like that, or a backup for a navigation light that has gone out. So let me know in the description below if you have, or the comment section below, if you have any other items that you think need to be added to this list. I want to know, because I love hearing about things that maybe I can keep as a backup. And other than that, if you have any questions, drop a comment below as well. Check out those links in the description below, and I'm going to see you out on the water. Make sure you trust the process.